Vladimir, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I know the fixtures are coming thick and fast just before Christmas. So could you just give us an update on the fitness and the injuries in terms of short-term and long-term for your squad?
Good morning. Some things start to change that into some of the players return in the practice, be part the practice with us. Some of them still stay out. Don't want to speak about the names, but I believe that in the next days the things will be much better. Because I expect that all of these players who stay out for different reasons will be with us in the next few days.
Vladimir, looking back on your last performance against Preston, a lot of people, including yourself, have turned around and said maybe it was your best performance of the season so far, in terms of, especially going forward wise. What was it about that performance that everything seemed to click for you, especially offensively?
No, I believe that we did a good game. Our performance started to change from the previous one. When we played against Bristol, I believe that in this game we did a lot of job different than in the previous matches, and these things is something good things we want to keep. We want to improve it, and we want to play of the way how we play in the last two games. Now, if possible to do it every game, I believe yes. Normally, don't forget that we have an opponent against us who will try to do their best, and in my head is that we need to think about ourselves, to prepare game by game, to work hard, to give every second during the game our maximum, be disciplined in our decision, be disciplined in our tactical movement. Doesn't matter if it's attack or defense or transition game. This is something what we work and what we speak to the players, and we want to go forward.
How impactful would you say Troy Deeney's return to the starting 11 was in terms of the fluidity and obviously the offensive?
Troy helped us a lot. Troy is an experienced player, to do the movement, to do the assist, to score, and for sure it's better when you have players like Troy in the option to use him. We know that he missed a lot of games, not just Troy and other players like Andre Gray, Hughes, like Capoue, all of them. I cannot tell that I had from the beginning until now in one game squad to tell I can choose player who will play. Okay, every game we missed minimum 4 or 5 players. But okay, this is reality. This is something what we need to do, and how I start to speak about this, what you asked me about Troy, he's a guy who can help us and who will help us. And in this game, we understood that when he worked hard, when he has a good attitude, how he did during the 70 minutes, how he played, he's helped a lot to the team, and this is important.
When you first arrived at the club, I remember you specifically telling me about having versatile formations. You've changed from a 5 at the back to now a 4 at the back. Is this just all part of your repertoire that you sort of go game to game, depending on the opponent?
You never know what's going to happen in the next games and how we will play. Yes, we come back to play with the 4 now. We use the system in the first 11, 12 games with 5. I said a lot of times that depends on the players, what you have, it's in the system what we will play. Sometimes it's a risk to do it in 2-3 days to change the system, but sometimes you need to take this risk to change something, to do something different that in the previous game, especially if you are not satisfied with some things in the previous games, how I was not, because it's a lot of things what I think how to change, how to improve it, and I believe that we are on the good way to do something good.
I want to also look forward, because obviously we know now with the EFL, certain teams can allow, depending on their tier, they can have fans back in the stadium. Nottingham Forest is not one of those areas that can have any sort of fans. I just wanted to know if you feel like, even though you've played with no fans for a lot of the season, do you feel like it could have an impact them still being in tier 3 and not allowing any fans in their stadium?
I believe that really have impact for sure for all of us, because after a long period the fans will be with us, and I know that we will not have our fans there, but again, it's important to have fans and to be part of the game, because we prefer to play with the fans at home and away games, and all of us is happy because the fans will come back. We know that the stadium will not be full, but again, it's a good moment, and I want to tell one more time that most important is to take care about the health of all the people who will be there.
I want to ask you a wider question as well, Vlad, because you're a seasoned manager that's played and managed in so many different leagues. Now you've come to England and you see the sort of concussion protocol and the conversations around head injuries. What do you feel like needs to be done, if you feel like anything needs to be done, to maybe sort of prevent those sort of things happening in football?
You know, it's part of the game. It's not nice. Nobody like this, but you know, during the one game, what's happened, no one can predict it. You know, a lot of times happen some things very dangerous, and you know, I believe that medical teams must be ready, must be aware every second to give their best to help each of the players who get some kind of a dangerous injury. You know, because this first reaction is very important, and to know how to treat on the right moment some difficult injuries, and to give this help for the players who survive in this moment.
Just finally for me, do you think that maybe there should be a new protocol, like for example in other sports, where a player can leave, go through the sort of concussion protocol properly off the field and then be able to return? Or do you believe that once they're injured in terms of a head injury, they should just be leaving the game fully?
Listen, in this moment, you cannot now change the rules. You know, depends of the situation. Okay, depends on the manager. He wants, you know, sometimes he wants to do the subs immediately because he don't want to stay without the players 2 or 3 minutes. You know, and it's difficult question. You know, that in this moment. If it's good to give them some minutes to go inside to take this first helping what they need, and after to come back, you know, no one can tell you now exactly what is right to do in this moment. I think all of us need to think about that and to take one right decision for all.
Thank you so much, Vlad.
Thank you.
Ian?
Hi, Vladimir. Well done on the win on Saturday. It was one of the most pleasing points, the fact that 4 different players scored. It wasn't just like one player is getting all the goals for you. They're being spread around the team.
No, it's important then other players, not just 1 or 2, score the goals. Yes, and this is something what we work. And for me, like manager, it's important that I have players from last line who can score. Example after the set pieces, how we did it in the past, to do assist, how it's happened in the last game, and Kat did assist for the João Pedro in the 4th goal. You know, you play with the 10 players, 11 players, and for me, to be honest, I said a lot of times and in front of my players that it doesn't matter who score. Important thing to score. Important is to put the ball inside and to have advantage, to play hard from the beginning until the end. Now, normally that players who play in front, they are close to the goal, and they are the guys who have more quality to score, and they are close to the opposite goal to do it. But again, to score 1 goal, it's not just the work of the scorer, it's the work of the team. Because you need to prepare, you need to work, you need to come until the opponent 60 meters, and to do a lot of things before the goal. I mean, it's teamwork.
Statistics can say anything. One stat is that Watford have only lost 1 of their last 9 games. But the other statistic ahead of the game against Nottingham Forest is that the away form, you've only won once in the last 7 away from home. How do you rectify the away form? How do you replicate the performances at Vicarage Road away from home?
And to be honest, we had in these 7-8 games, how many games we play away now? We had some not good games and some games where we could maybe taken more. You know, some games where we could taken 3 points. If we speak now about the first away game against Sheffield, you know, we had some chances. We could score. We could win the game. I remember the game against Bristol. Maybe we had the best chance there. Now we could take something more from this game. But again, I don't see the some different. What is the problem? You know, I cannot speak now about psychology because you know, we are the team who want to play the same at home and away and want to have the same goal in every game. Never we go in a away game to play for a draw or to play for 1 point. Our target is every time the same. Now what is the reason and what is this? Why we didn't take more points away? This is something what we need to think and what we need to manage to do in the next games better and to take more points. Yes, I agree.
Especially with fans coming back, is that going to put more pressure on you to keep winning at Vicarage Road if you can't start winning away from home?
For me, I believe, and for my player to have more pressure, I don't think so that it's more pressure. I believe that the fans can help us, especially when we play home games. We know that our fans will be with us and they will support us and they will give us this extra what we need during the game, because all of us work together for success of the club, and you know, to have more pressure, I don't think so. I believe that will be more pleasure to play in front of them.
In terms of fans, you'll obviously have fans for the next game with Cardiff and Rotherham at home. Away from home, as you can see by going to Forest, you won't. What does that do for the integrity of the competition? The fact that sometimes clubs will have supporters backing them, sometimes clubs won't.
Sometimes. Right, so if those cities in Team 3, like Nottingham, there'll be no fans there, whereas we can have fans. And some places you can have fans, some you can't. Is that fair?
If you ask me, is that fair or not now, I believe that everyone wants to have the fans to the stadium. Now it's fair or not, you know, for some teams who will not have the fans. For sure it's not nice and it's not good, you know, must be realistic. But I believe again that in these teams, because of the long period that we play without the fans, they will enjoy it. They will enjoy it. If they cannot enjoy with their fans and home game, they will enjoy in the games away with the fans. Now, if it's correct or not, you know, I believe that it's a good that fans will come. I hope and I wish that all stadium will be full will be full soon, and this problem what we have with the COVID will stop fast, and we will start to live normal how we lived 1 year ago.
Just 2 more questions. One, you've spoken about the head injuries, but can I ask you, should it be down to the player or should it be completely down to the medical team whether a player stays on the pitch after getting a head injury? Because
listen, this depends now on the feeling of the player on the moment, but sometimes the medical team must take responsibility and to because this is their job. Okay, if they think that it's very dangerous to continue, they need to take responsibility and to stop. Willing of the player, or maybe sometimes willing of the coach to continue some of the players, because so the most important is the health of the people and the health of the player in this moment.
And finally, the FA Cup draw. I'm sure Ben Foster and Tom Cleverley were delighted. They'll be going back to Manchester United. Can I ask you, as a coach new to this country, you'll never have managed, I don't think you've managed a team at all. at Old Trafford. I might be wrong. Are you looking forward? I know it's a month away or so, but are you looking forward to the FA Cup, your first FA Cup match, and going to somewhere like Old Trafford?
And James Garner will be the guy who will come back. Yes,
of course.
One more. Yes, it will be first time that I manage one team against Man United, Manchester United. It's a tough game. Don't need to speak about them, how big club is, but again, until this game we have a lot of championship games, and it's will be good game. It will be good game, and for sure when come the time for this game, we will prepare this game in the best way and try to do our best.
Absolutely. Good luck tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Vladimir.
Hello.
I just wanted to follow up on the Andre Gray story. Clearly, as you say, it will be dealt with internally, but I just wanted to try and work out the timeline of events, because it happened on Saturday night. He was injured in the game, obviously, on Saturday. You were going to find out the extent of his injury on maybe Sunday or Monday. Do we know if he is going to be injured for the long term? Has he injured his hamstring severely?
In this moment, how long he will stay out, I don't know yet. I'm waiting information from the doctor. But for sure, he will not be available to play tomorrow. Normally and not Saturday. But again, if you ask me about this, what's happened, I give my answer, and how we'll treat it. But about the injured, we hope that it's not something dangerous. It's not something how it was in the first injury, that he stay a long period out. And I'm waiting today final answer from doctors to tell me exactly how long he will stay out.
Okay, thank you. In terms of what has happened since, obviously, you've tried to bring in, new rules. You want to make the squad united. You want to work as a collective group. When someone who has previously committed an offence or done something wrong in terms of COVID does it again, how can that potentially impact on the unity within the group when one person chooses to break the rules?
It's not good. I agree. I understand the question, and no one like to happen something like that. First of all, me like coach, I said that the most important for me is to unite the group, to all of us have the same goal, to all of us work for the team, to give a maximum every day. Doesn't matter if it's practice or if it's the game, And we know that in one football club where you have 30 people, if everyone do whatever they want, don't have a chance to have success, no chance. We know that all of these players who played in our club is the famous people, because the job what they do is the job which followed a lot of people, and need to take care about outside what we work, the players, not just in here in training ground. Need to take care and need to be responsible for the every movement and out of the stadium, out of the training ground, because this professionality, what they are choose, okay, and must be clever, smart, and must take care about all the movements.
And you've been very supportive of Andre Gray. You were very excited about him fitting into your system pre-season when he did well against Tottenham, and then he got injured. And it seemed as if you were looking forward to him coming back. Since he has actually been back, his form hasn't been as good. But you've said, it takes a bit of time sometimes when you've had a long injury to come back into top form. I would imagine it, and I'm not putting words into your mouth, but if someone has been supported and looks as if they have the potential to be part of your squad, and then they do something like this, it would be extremely frustrating.
My job is to be with them, and in a good moment and in the less good moment. I'm manager of this club, and I work with these guys last 3 months, 3.5 months, and believe me that I think about them a lot. And during our time when we spend time together, and a lot of times when I'm at my phone, and in this moment we need to take right decision for the club, and we will do it.
And are you aware at this point, and you may be briefed on it later on, I'm not sure, but are you aware of any other players that will have been present at this gathering that may also be affected?
No.
Okay. And one other question on other players. The club have posted pictures of Will Hughes, Adam Messina and Tom Cleverley on their social media today, saying, reasons to be cheerful. I'm presuming Adam Messina might not be ready for Nottingham Forest, but maybe Hughes and Cleverley are, or what's the situation with them?
We will see today. We will do the last practice today. Adam Messina, he will not be available in the next 2 weeks for sure. He started to work with us yesterday, first practice, after his injury was had. And I'm very happy because of him and because of the Hughes and the Cleverley that they are come back. They are start to be part of the team. It's very important now, this process when they come back after some injured, to take care about them and to don't push them a lot. We need to be smart to manage them and to use them to come back on their maximum properly. We have a good example now what's happened with Andre. About his injury, because he started the second game away arrow, and it's happened. This was happened. I thought a lot about that, how we need to treat the players who coming after a long period injured, because the easier is to put them into play today, play on Wednesday, play on Saturday, and will happen this what's happened with him. All these things is complicated. Need to take right decision. Need to take results. Need to put the best team to play. And this is the part of our job. And all of us must be responsible for decision what we will take in the future.
Sure. Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, Jeff, Elliot, Ryan. Far away, Jeff.
Hi, Vladimir. Just one on Andre Gray. It's gone down very badly with supporters, and fans are, of course, going to be back into the ground on Saturday. So how is Andre Gray going to rebuild that relationship with the fans? Because that's going to be very difficult for him now.
No, it's the moment which is, for sure is not good for him after this what's happened, and I don't want now to speak about all these things what's happened. I will speak with him. I said that I didn't speak still with him, and we will do it. We will do it. We know that he is our player. We need to think about and all other players here about this discipline. What we want to have in our team, because without that, I said we cannot succeed. No chance. Andre, I believe that he understands what's happened, and for sure it's not a good moment for him. And if you ask me now about our fans, how they will react in this moment, I don't know. I don't know to give you an answer in this moment. How they will react. I'm sure that no one likes it, and no one is proud because of this. Again, the people can do mistake, but they need to take responsibility for this mistake and to don't do the same mistake.
The players that are isolating because of COVID, will they miss the next game and the one on Saturday, and then that's it?
Excuse me? I didn't hear.
Are there players that are isolating because of...
We know that they are out still, and now if they will be ready for game on Saturday or not, after 10 days, We'll see. We will see. To be honest, I'm not sure, because if some players stay at home 10 days and don't walk and don't do something, he needs some days to come back in his level to can play the game. Okay, it's not just after 10 days without activity to put the player to play the game. First of all, you don't do good for the team, you don't do good for the player, and you take a lot of risk to get injured. Yes.
You've had to deal with a lot of injuries, like we know, Vladimir. One player who has been involved a lot is Craig Cathcart. How impressed have you been with him? He's been on international duty. He's played pretty much every minute of every game. Have you been impressed with the centre-half?
Craig is from the first day with us, and he did a good pre-season. He's one of the 10 players, 11 who did a pre-season, and his potential, his quality, we know. He worked hard game by game, and we can be satisfied with his attitude, with his games until now. And yes, he played in the national team, and it's not easy to play every 3 days the game, how he did from the beginning until now. And strong man, it's a good character. That means we need these kind of players in our sport.
And just a final one from me. What have you made of Nathaniel Chalobah playing as a 2 in central midfield? Have you been impressed with his discipline? Because generally you've had 3 in there.
Yes, Chalobah is the guy who works hard, who gets after a long period his chance to play, because we know that he didn't play a lot in the previous season. Yes, and, now from the beginning he's the man who played. I think 80-90% of the game he played. We can see the progress in his game, and this position is very, very important in the team. He understands that, and me understand that he can do and better things. And this is now process game by game, and normally. And he's one of the players who work hard and who give his best every day during the practice and during the games for the team.
Thank you, Vladimir.
Elliot. Hi, Vladimir.
Hi.
So you were mentioning about the players coming back from injury and how you'd have to slowly bring them back to avoid injuries, like with Andre Gray. How important is that in particular with Will Hughes, given his injury and now he's coming back? And he had that previously as well. How important is it to slowly integrate him back into the team?
We know that Will Hughes, it was one of the best players previous year. Yes, one of the most important players. I know his quality. I know what he can give for the team, and for sure, I'm not happy because of this first 3 months that he's out of the team. He's out of the team because of the injury, and he's come back. After he stayed with us 2 weeks, work with us. After come back again, go out. It's some process and some kind of danger where you need to treat it, where you need to wait the moment when he will be available to start to play. I'm sure that when he will come back, that he's a serious guy. He's a good player, good character, and he will help us. I'm sure 100%. Just all of us wait the moment when he will be ready to start to play.
And just a final one from me. Kiko Femenia has been playing at left back, and I know you've wanted a natural left back for a while. Have you been really happy with him in that position? Because it's obviously not his natural position.
To be honest, I'm more happy when he playing his position right back. Okay, because we know that he can give us a lot in the right side, but in this moment I don't have other choice.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And normally, and he gives his maximum, and in the left side, he work hard. He play every game in his top level maximum. But we know that it's not the same when you play with right foot from the left side and with right foot from the right side. Okay.
Thank you.
Ryan. Vladimir, just one on that same vein. Obviously, Adam Messina is nearly returning, and with Sema coming back soon as well, then Are you still hoping to reinforce that left side come January? The transfer window is just a month away.
We know that Adam Masina stay out 3.5 months, and he's just start to be part of the practice. When he will be ready to play, nobody knows. I hope that he will be soon. But again, after the 3-4 months of the rehabilitation of the injured, you cannot expect from one player to come immediately and to give his best from the first game. Yes. We need to be patient with him. We need to work with him. We need to be careful when is the right moment to return him to the team to start to play. Okay. If you ask me if I need left back, yes, I need.
Okay, and just a final one on Forest. Earlier, when you came up against teams who were at the bottom of the table, you said they were the most difficult games. Do you still agree with that? And you're expecting this to be perhaps more difficult than previous games?
Very tough game will be tomorrow. We know it, and their position. I said that it's not a realistic position because it's a good team with a good manager, and for sure they are in this position. A lot of games maybe they lost that they didn't need to lose because it was game 50-50. I said before that in the last game against Swansea it was the game 50-50. But again, this is a football. You never know. Sometimes you can be better and you can lose. Sometimes you can be the team who didn't deserve to win, but you won the game. Again, we need to think about ourselves, to prepare ourselves to improve our game and to work hard how we work in the last 2 games to achieve 3 points.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.